Hello and welcome to a special edition of Traditional Stitches Flosstube. I'm Janice Spencer, the owner of Traditional Stitches, and with me today is my special guest, Frida Murfin of Frida's Fancy Stitching. Hi Frida.
Hi Janice.
It is great to have you back in the shop with us.
And it's great to be back in the shop.
So we're here today primarily to talk about Frida's special anniversary sampler that she did to celebrate Traditional Stitches' 20th anniversary, but we'll talk about some other things along the way as well. So I'm just going to give you a sneak peek of the sampler, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it in detail in a few minutes. And this is it. So gorgeous. Well, Frida, we're really lucky to have you so close by, being one of our local stitchers. So when we were thinking about our plans for our 20th anniversary, we knew we wanted to ask you to join us. So thank you very much for doing that.
Oh, it was a wonderful opportunity to do something new and different.
So tell us a little bit about your design company, how you got started. And
I fell into designing. There was a poem on the internet, and one of the girls in our stitching group brought it to the stitch in, and someone said somebody should make a sampler out of that. And I said, I can do that. I had never stitched a sampler in my life. I don't know what I was thinking about, but once I had designed the first piece, which is a stitcher's wish, I was hooked. I just wanted to do more and more.
So you've primarily designed counted canvas work pieces for mono canvas and Congress cloth, is that correct?
I do. I didn't originally. I fell into canvas work too.
It's funny how these things happen to
Oh
us,
yes,
eh?
yes,
And then you've done a number of pieces for linen or Lugana as well.
yes.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, we're going to talk about our anniversary project here specifically, and then we're going to showcase some of Frida's very special samplers as well as her newest, and talk about plans for the future for her designs. So this, I'll let you hold this, Frida. That's our 20th anniversary sampler, and so everybody knows that we've been working on our 20th anniversary for almost 3 years now. So, and Frida's design is the grand finale, and you can sit that in your lap if you like. And so with the supply chain challenges and everything like that, we wanted to make sure that we were able to do it right. So I'm just going to give you a close-up of some of the threads that are used in this beautiful design. And Frida, I really, really enjoy what you do with color. And you were telling me before that you don't really have any formal training or with color. So it's just innate talent, hey?
I suppose so. Someone gave me a gift of a color wheel. And Janice, I have to admit, I don't know what to do with it.
Well, you should just keep doing what you're doing because I think it's fantastic. And you guys will see some more examples of that here shortly. So our sampler is done on this vintage French blue 18 count mono canvas. And you can see the pattern that is rolled onto the canvas there. The back side of this fabric is equally lovely, so if you didn't like the rolled on effect, you could certainly use that. But let me show you some of these threads. There are 3 colors of Caron watercolors. Aren't those just beautiful? So these are 3-ply thread that you strand down, right?
Yes.
You use a single ply for a project like this. And then there's some DMC Pro Cotton number 5, which when you bring those colors in, sorry, I'm all thumbs here. Oops. It's just so gorgeous. The colors are just amazing. and then a little embellishment of Millhill beads, and some chronic braid. Now we thought that we were ready to ship these kits last week. However, when I was putting the kits together, I realized that our supplier sent us the wrong size of one of the chronic braids. So they are sending the correct size to us in a rush. So we should have those very soon, and then we'll get those kits in the mail. Alrighty. So this is the chart, the leaflet. And Frida, is there anything specific you want to tell us about this design?
Oh, if you haven't done canvas work before, do try it. My one goal in life is to stretch everybody's comfort zone. And the stitches in this are wonderful. Some are hilly, should I say?
Lots of texture.
Lots of texture.
And dimension.
And some are flat. So there's a mixture of all of that in here. I just love those big, chunky stitches.
You just have so many options with them, hey?
Yes.
So I'm gonna flash up part of the graph here. Frida's instructions and stitch instruction diagrams have always been awesome. So this is the detail level of one of the sections of our sampler, and then the corresponding block on the sampler is this one right here. Isn't that cool? So the other thing about a sampler like this is there's bites that you can do. You can do just a block and you have a sense of accomplishment. You
Yes.
feel like you've,
Oh, yes.
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 Actually, I was holding it upside down, so my apologies.
I love these stitches that I did here. This is a Norwich stitch. And I love it because it's a great corner stitch, it's a great border stitch, but it fits almost anywhere. And this is the same stitch, except it's called a mistake stitch.
Well, you know what, when I was reading through the instructions, I saw that you had a mistake stitch, and I'd never heard of that before, so.
It's sort of used mostly in canvas work.
Okay.
Yeah, but my very favorite stitch is this one up here, and it's a walnutto stitch. There's so many things you can do with that. You can make it round, you can make it square, you can make it triangular, but it's always still the same stitch, and you use the same method to do it. It's just fascinating what you can do with them.
Entering into the world of counted canvas does really change things a lot for people. First of all, it's on 18 count canvas. So if linen or Lugana was getting to be challenging, this is an excellent option. Also, the range of threads and the textures of threads that you can use for counted counted canvas are huge, and the colors are just, you'll see some color examples here as well. So if it's something that you haven't tried before, this is definitely a great opportunity to give it a shot.
Oh yes, oh yes.
All right, so one thing that you've done over the more recent years, Frida, that we have really enjoyed is your mystery samplers.
Yes.
So
I fell into those too.
well, I seem to remember the story about that, but remind me what it is.
I was on a stitching cruise with Jeanette Douglas, and I had on my computer just the outline of the banquet. And we were sitting around chatting with some friends, and one of them said, "You should do a mystery sampler." And like always, I said, "Okay." And I had the outline done, but that was all. And so it developed into the banquet.
People had a lot of fun with these. So you've done 3 mystery
Yes.
samplers, and they each came out as 8 parts.
8 parts.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so along with these mystery sampler charts and anything else that you see, I'm gonna link Frida's website below in the drop-down box here, so that you can go and view her huge range of designs and styles. The Christmas trees, I should have asked you to bring a Christmas tree, because those are very cool and have been very popular. So now you
Yes.
have to go to her website and look at the Christmas trees. And anything that you see there, we can special order and kit for you, so.
Yes.
All right, so this is the first mystery sampler, which is the banquet, which we've been lucky enough to have custody of in our shop for the last few years. So this is it. Try not to reflect it too much, but just look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So with the mystery sampler, people don't get to know what the full design looks like. They get a section each, and they came out monthly, right?
They came out monthly originally.
Yeah.
Now they can be purchased all together because it's no longer a mystery.
Right.
Or you can purchase one chart a month.
1 chart a month. But then now you know what you're aiming for and what the colors are. So this was the banquet. Okay, and then the second one was this one,
This one,
and this is called,
that way up.
okay, I'll hold it. You talk about it, I'll hold it.
Okay, this is in fall colors. As usual, I choose a watercolors or a multicolored thread and then blend everything in with that. And the big piece here, this line was very heavy braid, and it was a challenge to use, but it really does something for the piece, I think. And all the different colors in this watercolors are just amazing.
I'm just gonna do a sweep across the front of the camera from side to side so that they can see the whole thing. Let me get my nose out of the
It's
picture and
a
hopefully I'm
little
doing
longer.
it okay, Joe. Can you see
Yes.
it?
Yeah. It's a lot of amazing stitches and a little dragonfly charm.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
And there's some butterfly motifs in there, I think.
Yes, there are.
Yeah. This blue and brown combination, I think, is just really one of my favorite thread combos. The rusts and the blues, so that's beautiful. Thank you for bringing that along. And then the third mystery sampler that you did was Sunlit Stitches. And this is, look at how bright and happy this design is.
That was my focus when I first started it in the spring of 2020. We'd all been in our houses for, it seemed like forever at the time, but it turned out not to be so. I thought we needed something bright and happy and cheerful. And so that's why I chose the Carnival watercolors and took it from there. I love the colors. I loved stitching it. It was a really neat one to do.
It's gorgeous. And then you brought along another colorway of that one.
This one I did just because I wanted to do a red one. It's the same stitches, the same pattern, but in red tones.
That's gorgeous. And the texture is just amazing.
Yes, some are flat and some are lifted up.
Yes. And always a combination of threads. So usually there's, like you said, the watercolors that you take a step
Yes.
off of, and then DMC pearls and
And
floss.
Yes, yes.
Krynic.
Krynic
Yeah.
and Rainbow Gallery, Flare, and oftentimes anything I've got in my stash.
Right. And red beads. So you could just look at this all day long and see something new and different every single time your eye looked at it. So speaking about doing different color conversions, what are your thoughts on people changing up your designs or doing their own colorways?
Oh, certainly. Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's your piece, so make it your own. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, going into your stash and using things that you have there.
Yes.
But it is also a really good opportunity to go to your local needlework store
Oh,
and stroke threads and open drawers and.
I thought of that when I was thinking about doing this, that, yeah, it's important to support the local needlework shops.
Wow. And we appreciate that. And, you know, thinking back over the years, because what year did you start designing? Do you know?
About 2005.
2005. And we started the shop in 2000. So over the years, you and I and my staff we've grown up together and we've spent a lot of time playing with threads.
Yes, yes. I'm very much a touchy-feely kind of person, and I had difficulty looking at threads on the computer. I want to be in here and looking, which has been a real challenge in the last 2 years.
But now we're back on track.
Now we're back on track.
Okay, perfect. So then you were telling me that your two newest designs you dropped off last week for the Stampede Showcase.
I did.
So the Calgary Stampede starts this Friday, and as part of that, they have in their exhibition, they have glass cases that showcase all kinds of different handicrafts.
Yes, yes.
From needlework,
Needlework,
like knitting,
to tatting, knitting,
yeah, but
quilting,
painting and drawing.
Oh, yes.
And so if you are in Calgary and you get a chance to go to the Stampede, which building is it in, do you know?
It's in the BMO building. I think it's still called the BMO building.
Okay. The back end.
And
of
the Hall F. So it's the hall that's closest to the casino.
Okay. So go and have a look and see if you can recognize a couple of designs that might look like Frida's designs, but I can tell you I've seen photos of them, and they're one in particular, they're a little bit different.
Different, yes,
Yep.
yes.
So, and then just watch Frida's website and our website for them to be available. And then you brought a couple of other newer ones to show. I could hold it, you speak to it.
The blue is just
Painter's tape.
Painter's tape, yes.
And that just helps to, so that you don't snag your
Yes.
threads on the edges of the canvas.
Yes,
So you would mount this with tacks onto a stretcher frame.
yes,
And so the blue tape will come off when you're ready to frame it.
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And this is in purples. It's sometimes hard to see that, but it's called Velvet and Lace, and the most of the stitches are with Rainbow Gallery's Very Velvet.
Oh, so they are.
Yes.
Well, I almost want to pet it, but I know that that's not proper.
And the lacy
Very
background,
lush.
of course, it was something that started from the name.
Oh,
That's one of the things that happens. I'll think of a name and then make a piece to fit it. Not all the time, of course, but that's how that came about.
wow. Well, and some of these background stitches just make canvas, which you don't think about canvas being lacy, but it certainly does have that effect that the canvas just looks like
Oh, yes.
very pretty lace in the background. So thank you for bringing that one.
And this one, I think, is going to be part of a series. This is called Jade. So my thought was, and there's some lovely stitches in there.
Oh yeah, look at the texture on that. I wonder if I can
Yeah.
get a shot that shows how dimensional that is. Lovely.
I have an idea in my head that there will be jade and maybe opal and maybe sapphire, maybe a series of gemstone colors.
Good. I'm just going to flip this to the back so that you guys can see what we meant about. So these are mini stretcher frames.
Yes.
Which means that they're smaller, they take up less of your fabric, but also that they're lighter weight to hold
Yes.
when you're stitching, to support when you're stitching. They come in, I think, 5" to 13" maybe, and then if you need to go any longer than that, then you need to go to the thicker regular ones. But on the back of the work here shows Frida has tacked through her painter's tape onto the board to hold this nice and taut and straight grain in the frame.
Yes.
Cool. And I can see this has got some metallic and pearl cotton and very velvet, I'd say, all kinds of beautiful things in
Yes.
there. So watch for this one too, and the rest of the designs in its series to come out.
Yes. Those two will be coming within the next month, I would think.
Oh, cool. That's exciting. And then what have you got planned for the future other than more designs in this series?
I'm having trouble picturing the future. I keep saying at my age that I should retire. And a friend said, and do what? So I can't picture myself actually retiring, but I will slow down. I will work on these ideas that I've got, and any other idea that pops into my head, and but it may take a little longer.
Wow.
How's that for an answer?
Well, I think that's a great answer, and it's a good answer, because then that means that you're not retiring, so you're going to keep producing these beauties for us.
Yes, once in a while.
And then we just have one more design just to show off. This is Kathleen, my office manager's work of one of Frida's designs. It's called Just Plain Fun, and it's a model in our shop that Kathleen did on this beautiful blue canvas. And this was Kathleen's first canvas work piece, and she had a lot of fun and she knocked it off in no time.
Absolutely.
And you taught this to us at a retreat
Yes, I did.
as a
Yes.
one-day class, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that was fun. So, and we do have this design on our website as well. So we'll link to Frida's section below on our website so that you can browse through all of them. And then also please check out everything that Frida's done on her website.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us on this beautiful, finally sunny morning.
Yes. Look at the fluffy white clouds.
Yes. In case you haven't noticed from the reflection and the things that we've held up, we have a beautiful picture window right in front of us where we see pine trees and grass and blue sky and white clouds.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day and a gorgeous location. So thanks everyone for your time, and thank you, Frida, for joining us today.
You're very welcome. I've enjoyed it.
Oh, great. Well, I am so glad that you agreed to celebrate our 20th anniversary with us. Made it a special time, much more special.
Yes, yes.
Great. Well, thanks everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.